Richard Wilson, and welcome to this episode of CEOTraining.com. What I do is provide you the Little India strategy of making more sales. And I actually just walked over here to the waterfront here in Singapore from Little India, where I went for lunch today. And I wanted to share with you a couple insights I had during lunch. I wrote down some notes for this video and just wanted to share with you a business insight. Was that oftentimes people are bored at their job. They're bored looking at what to do next. They're excited about opportunities for themselves, but oftentimes they don't get too engaged. They don't know what process or path to follow. They wish somebody would just tell them exactly what to do to be successful in their area. And it's the same with your clients, your prospects, and maybe even yourself. I know it's true for myself. And it's just super important to remember that whenever you make your product or solution or service or customer experience exciting, new, novel, or engaging, you're going to be head and shoulders above your competition. So try to do that anytime possible. The reason why I was reminded of this in Little India, it's not even my favorite part of Singapore, but it was interesting because everything there is so different. It's so novel and engaging. You can't help but look around and be interested in everything you see, because me being an American, it's just already being in Asia, everything's completely different. And then Little India, it's like everything's different times two. So just try to be that way in your business. Try to make everything different times two. Try to have your website language be more casual, or be more helpful, or more engaging. Try to have awesome video content instead of boring video content. Try to have a lot of free resources for your potential clients instead of a couple, BS press releases on your website or blog like most people do. Try to update things more often, or have free workshops or free training sessions or free webinars, or just really valuable training experiences for your clients. Instead of just having a guest speaker come in and talk for an hour, or not having any training or workshops or conferences for your clients. There's so many things you can do to stand out from your competition. I just encourage you to try experimenting with doing more of those so you're more unique and more different. It's kind of obvious advice, but I wanted to give you a couple examples of how I've been trying to do this in my own business, and something that's really specific so you can see what I'm talking about here. So the first example is in a book I recently wrote called The Marketer's Bible. In this book, we're talking about marketing, sales, public relations, persuasive writing, influence and persuasion, many different things. The book is really thick, about 1,000 pages long, and we wanted to make it really valuable, not just by packing it with tons of content. That's why we called it the Bible, the Marketer's Bible, because it does have so much content. But we tried to kind of, wow the person who bought the book in two ways. One, provide 1,000 pages of marketing advice and content for around 20 bucks, under 20 bucks if you get it through Amazon. And the reason we did that is we want to make it very accessible for a customer to enter our product funnel, get a lot of value from us, have a great first experience, and then maybe work with us more in the future. The second thing we've done, I think is more important, is we included over 30 video modules throughout the book for free. How many books have you read where there's a link and you can go online to that link and watch a free video module which expands on that topic you just read about in the book, or just talks about that same topic you read about in the book, but maybe you didn't get it the first time, or if you're like me, you get tired of reading sometimes, you'd rather watch a video. So we included over 30 video modules within this book. We're adding more in the next edition. And so for under 20 bucks, you're getting tons of video modules, 1,000 pages of advice, and all the people that helped write this book and myself charge hundreds of dollars an hour if you're hired us as consultants. But you can get all that advice for under 20 bucks. So that's one way we try to be different and unique, video modules within a book. Another way is by another book we wrote, Speed of Implementation, to make it more of a workbook. When you go to a conference or a seminar, you get a lot of value because oftentimes you take more action when you get advice in person. But I also think that just most books are designed so that when you read them, you kind of put it down and say, oh, that's interesting, or yeah, maybe I should use some of that advice sometime, or you try to think of how it applies to your life. But it's a pretty passive experience. What we did with this book is wrote it as a workbook. I've created a lot of workbooks for conferences and seminars now, so I created our Speed of Implementation book as a workbook, just as if we were at a full day live seminar. So as you're reading the book, every chapter, and usually multiple times within a chapter, there are exercises to complete. So unless you skip through it and skip the exercises, which I guess you could, there's no way to read the whole book without getting engaged, without figuring out how this applies to you, without writing down the benefits of applying the strategies and processes I provide in that book to your own life. And again, the book is very inexpensive. It's not $300 because it's a workbook form. It's very inexpensive. And it's really unique because it's a workbook form book. And that's one way we try to be a bit more novel and engaging as I'm recommending you do so here. There's one experience I had just yesterday where we offer a product. It was updated, but I forgot to update our website while I was traveling here, and a client was very upset because he paid $600 for a product that, if I'd updated our website, should have only cost him $300. So he said, "Oh, I want my $300 back. I can't believe this. You know, what a bad thing to happen." And you know, usually that doesn't happen. Nobody wants that to happen in their business. So I saw the email, realized it had been 100% my mistake, not my employee's mistake, not the client's mistake. So what I did was wrote him back an email, said I apologize, my mistake, was traveling, didn't update the website in time. Here's $400 and your money back. It took about 6 hours for him to reply, and he said, "Wow, that's, you know, thank you so much for doing that. You took care of it very quickly. You gave me more than a fair share of my money back. I really appreciate that now day and age. You know, such a, you know, mature and honest response to this problem. Thank you so much. Hopefully we can do business again." So if you notice in his email, he said, "Hopefully we can do business again." And I think that he will tell other people maybe about that experience, and even if he doesn't, at least he leaves with a good taste in his mouth. At the end of the day, $50 or $100 or even $300 is nothing compared to a long-term loyal client that's going to spread positive word of mouth within your industry and come back and buy things again from you in the future. And if you treat people like that, I think it'll pay off in spades over the long term. So that's another example. The first was a marketer's Bible example with video modules. The second was a speed of implementation workbook format book. And the third is over-refunding somebody for a mistake I made so that he knows I'm genuinely, you know, sorry for making that mistake, and I value him as a person. I'm sorry I wasted his time, confused him, or misled him in any way. So those are 3 examples of how you can be new, novel, engaging, or exciting, or different, just like it was when I was just in Little India for lunch today in Singapore. One trick for remembering the Little India strategy to doing better in sales in your business is that if you're not unique like Little India, you're going to make little sales because you're just going to blend in. People are going to be passive, just like a book that doesn't have engaging sections and exercises. People are just going to gloss over you and move on to the next thing. So be novel, be exciting, be engaging, and I hope you enjoyed this video.